RKW 104.5 The Zone. Ramon Foster, Kayla Anderson, Will Bowling, live from Nissan Stadium. Toy Field 2024. Here until 6 p.m., we are building a field of toys to benefit Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program, and we are asking for your help. While you're out doing your holiday shopping, pick up an extra new unwrapped toy or a gift for a senior and bring it today to Toy Field to help fulfill the dreams of thousands of children in need this holiday season. Parking and curbside drop-off at Nissan Stadium is available in Lot H in front of Gate 6 of the West Plaza, so you can drive by, drop off your unwrapped toy or a gift for a senior there to benefit the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program. Help us create miracle moments for families in our community.
That's right.
Connecting with Austin Price right now, so we hope to get him on here shortly and talk a little bit about Tennessee, Ohio State. Guys, a matchup that I feel better about after talking with Andy Staples earlier.
Yeah, I do too, man. Well, the defense, right? Why do we get away from the old cliches whenever we're in it deep? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does they say? Defenses win championships, right? Like the run game and the defense has traveled for the most part all year long, have they not? Like, getting the offense on the same page is what's going to be a situation where you can't have three and out, or turnovers and stuff like that. I believe in what the defense can provide. It's Ohio State a foe we've never seen before. I mean,
not since '96.
Not since '96.
One time.
If you get the jitters out of the way, man, as a coaching staff and as a team, like, they carry a mystique about them. That is Ohio State. Like, you know who they are. You mention them, like, you get past that, man. They're a football team. Go play ball. Put the defense in front of anybody.
It is that time of year, too, when you're playing in the cold, which we know it's going to be up there. Like, that's always the first thing that comes to my mind is, like, a defensive type of game. And you would think with the way kind of Tennessee is built, especially on that front, that they're going to be ready for the moment. And you heard Andy Staples say it. We've been saying it for the last couple of weeks. That offensive line, they're maneuvering that around right now. And I don't know what that's going to look like, but they got to be prepared for that.
We're joined now by Volquest's Austin Price, talking Tennessee football here this morning, live from Nissan Stadium. Austin, what's up, sir? How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Got a little Mr. Football action today.
Nice.
Hey,
outstanding.
Let's go.
Our resident Mr. Football here certainly is happy about that. Austin, there is a Mr. Football from a year ago as well, Boo Carter, that kind of worked out well for Tennessee, didn't he? So that's a award that's often friendly to Tennessee.
Wait a minute. Ramon won this for football?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Austin, you sound so
Ripley High School.
I'm up in the rafters, Austin. I'm up in the rafters, baby.
Ramon, you just got to be happy that you were a lineman when you were a lineman, because you would not be Mr. Football in today's high school football, because there is no lineman. It's all together.
That's all it is. Y'all some haters. But I guarantee you what, the first time, the first shopping item you need in your transfer portal is a lineman. I know that much, though, Austin, but we can't get no love, man. See, this is why we charge y'all what we charge y'all in NIL these days, man. This is the reason why, because we get nothing.
I agree. You're just speaking facts, but I'm just telling you, in today's Mr. Football world, you're not winning that award.
We're not coveted. Okay, real quick though, why did they get rid of the lineman version of it? Do you happen to know?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't. I'd like to say because there's so many classifications, it was just so many awards, but I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I wish they'd bring it back. I mean, obviously, I think some linemen get left out, or kind of do a lineman of the year the way they do, the kicker of the year.
Hold up, we still do a kicker of the year?
Oh, yeah.
What the hell is the world coming to? I'm done, Austin. I quit this job, man.
Good luck to my guy Elliot Arnold at Macaulay, who will be up for the kicker of the year award.
Nice.
Nice. That's my guy. So hopefully he wins that today. But a lot of good candidates up for a lot of awards today, and I'm sure that all portions of the state will be well represented there at the Mr. Football Awards.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, while Ramon silently protests here, Austin, let's talk some Tennessee football. What do you make of the matchup with Ohio State? Because to me, Austin, Tennessee has the guys up front to maybe win in Columbus the way Michigan did. What do you think about this matchup?
Well, I think when you look at the strength of Ohio State's offense, Will, it kind of mirrors the strength of Tennessee's defense. I think Tennessee's secondary, especially the corners and of course, Boo Carter at nickel, should be able to hold up pretty well against a really good set of receivers for Ohio State. And, I thought if they, the more I looked at the kind of potential matchups, I'm like, does Tennessee have anybody that can guard the Warren kid at Penn State, the tight end? I'm not sure they did.
Right.
Whereas I think, Jermod McCoy, Ricky Gibson, Boo Carter can hold their own against a really good set of receivers for Ohio State. And then Tennessee's traditionally been pretty good against the run due to that defensive line. And so, I think it'll be a really good game. Ohio State, to me, has not played their best game of the year to this point. And I don't think Tennessee has either. So, can either one of these teams put it together to kick off the college football playoff and what will be the finale that opening weekend up in Columbus?
I know, Austin, you caught up with Mike Matthews for the Vol Club Confidential this week at Volquest.com, and he's a guy who stepped into that bigger role we've been waiting for against Vanderbilt. Red shirts no longer a part of the process, as these playoff games do not count towards red shirts. Obviously, Mike was not in that boat, Austin, but is there anyone who hasn't been a key contributor that you think could step into a bigger role for Tennessee now as those parameters change a little bit?
Yeah, and be Edwin Spillman, the Nashville kid. He had to miss a good portion of the time, had that big club on his hand, even for the Vanderbilt game. But I think that, you're going to see an expanded role for him. How many reps is that? I don't know. But, Jalen Smith was giving you 30-plus, snaps a game. Well, that's got to go to somebody. It just can't. I don't think it behooves Tennessee to just be like, hey, Arion Carter and Jeremiah Thielander, you get to split them up, and now you're playing 55 snaps instead of 40. So I think Edwin Spillman will play more in this game, which means they've got to crash course and get him ready coming up here in, 12 days.
Yes, indeed. Austin Price with us this morning at Volquest on 3. Austin, what's the health of Dylan Sampson and also Squirrel White leading into this thing so far? Man, I know I don't have to really give us a whole lot of information, but those two dudes contributed a lot.
No doubt, and Dylan will be fine. The one I worry most about is Squirrel, and at this point, just don't know. We'll rehab a lot and see if he's able to go. But the loss of Chaz Nimrod, means you got one less slot, so you really need Squirrel to be able to go, and then kind of figure out who you're going to put in the slot. Otherwise, is that sliding Brew McCoy inside? Dante Thornton obviously did it a little bit, but was not as effective as he has been outside. And then you got guys like Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley. So we'll be interested to kind of see where Tennessee turns if Squirrel is not able to go as much as he's been able to go.
A guy like Chaz Nimrod would not play in the bowl game. I've seen some say, well, they're in the portal, but they're also playing for their team still. Is this the case for him?
It sounds like it. Again, each kid can make that decision. That's not Coach Heupel would love for any of these kids, Jalen Smith or whoever, to, play through the bowl game. And if they want to go in, if they want to, test, the market and go in the portal and transfer afterwards, they can. But it certainly sounds like that's probably going to be the case for these kids that have went into the portal at Tennessee do not play, but that'll be their choice.
When you look at these 4 years, Austin, that Coach Heupel has had and is a part of right now, I think you've beat some of the battered Vol syndrome out of most folks, okay, either through showing it or either by talking them off ledges, right? What has this 4 years been like? Well, no, let me go back to that. Did you expect Heupel, considering his recruiting woes that they said he had and, new to the SEC, to be able to pull off what he's doing right now?
Well, I don't think anybody expected him to go 11-2 in year 2 and win the Orange Bowl, considering where Tennessee had been, the last 15 years before he got here. So that was obviously a surprise. I thought pretty quick that he was going to be a better recruiter than people gave him credit for. I think, it's different recruiting to Missouri as an OC. And let's face it, like when you're an OC, your coordinator, you spend so much game time game planning, you don't recruit. Most coordinators are not great recruiters. Like that's because they're focused on their side of the ball. It's the position coaches, the running backs coach, the DBs coach, the tight ends coach. Those are your recruiters. So I thought he kind of was unduly, I guess, judged as a recruiter. As a head coach at UCF, you're recruiting a different kind of kid than you are here. I think Coach Heupel's done a fantastic job of building relationships and recruiting, and is a much better recruiter than anybody gave him credit for. I think he can still improve, but I think that he's done a really good job of, building bonds with kids and does a fantastic job on official visits and staying in contact. So I think that part is, maybe a surprise just based off what everybody said, but not really a surprise once you kind of saw it firsthand that first year or so.
Austin Price of Volquest joining us this morning, as he does every Tuesday. Okay, so Austin, let's just make this clear. In Tennessee, in East Tennessee this time of year, it is not 85 degrees. So please break down to those who don't understand that going up to Columbus in 2 weeks, they're going to be okay with the weather. It's not going to surprise them by any means.
No, it's not going to surprise them. You got to remember, too, Ohio State has recruited nationally for so many years. Jeremiah Smith's from South Florida. He handles it just fine. Are they going to be cold if it's 30 degrees? I think it depends on, how windy is it. I personally don't really get cold at 30 degrees. Unless the wind blows. The wind's what can kind of cut it right through you. If it's just 30, but it's stagnant, I don't think that that's that bad. So what's the weather conditions like? Is it, snowing and the wind's blowing sideways? Is it just kind of a cold night, stagnant? You go over there and get around the heater when you're off the field, and then you get back out there when you're on the field. This team will be fine. I don't think cold weather is – Tennessee may lose this game. I don't think it'll be because, cold weather. I think it'll be more because, they continue to have pre-snap penalties and – Ohio State had some big plays that Tennessee couldn't stop or whatever else. I don't think it'll be because the weather, unless it were to be a big snow game and all of a sudden, both teams are kind of neutralized and they're slipping and sliding around and all that out there, then that changes things a little bit.
Austin, how prepared do you feel is Nico Iamaleava for this moment in his first ever playoff? And he's the youngest quarterback in the playoffs this season.
Well, I think he's continued to get better. You go back to that second half at Alabama, and ever since then, he's done, 12 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's been really good the last 5+ games of the season. Has done a fantastic job, leading the team. And so I think that he's continued to progress, and as you would hope he would be. He's a redshirt freshman. I get he had a little bit of a lull there in late September and early October, but it seems like he's kind of snapped out of that and is playing his best football right now. And if that continues, then Tennessee will have a chance to go up to the Horseshoe and pull off an upset. If he doesn't play well, then your defense sure better be on point, and Dylan Sampson better be running wild, or it'll be a tough road at the Shoe.
Volquest's Austin Price at Austin Priceless, where you follow him on Twitter. Our guest Tuesdays here on the show. Austin, switching gears to the transfer portal. It is open, and I know players are starting to, many of them commit. Many other ones set their visits. Where is Tennessee swinging biggest in the transfer portal this time around?
Well, they are, looking at interior offensive linemen, interior defensive linemen. And then after that, I think it depends on who leaves and who goes at each position, right? The more receivers they lose, the better chance they end up bringing in a receiver. Same thing with, defensive backs or other positions. So, I guess for me, I think Tennessee's just going to be really selective in who they kind of go after. But specifically right now, what they're looking at, interior of defensive line, interior offensive line.
Austin, in that same context, man, I want to ask you this question is, do you expect them to be able to keep Tim Banks? Everybody wants to be a head coach because you know what? If I get fired, I get the walk-away money, and I go back to being a coordinator again, man. Where is he at as far as his mentality on either wanting to stay a coordinator or moving on somewhere?
Well, Tim Banks wants to be a head coach. Make no mistake. He wants to be a head coach. The question is he willing just to take any job that could come his way, or will he be more selective? He makes really good money to be a defensive coordinator. I think I'd be selective in, the jobs I take. Because, you may only get one shot at it. You don't want to take a job that's kind of a lemon that, it's going to be tough to win at. So Would Central Michigan, be something, him being there before, would that pique his interest, and then what AD is hiring and what are they looking for? Like, are they looking for an offensive coach? Well, that's going to rule him out, so I think the number of jobs will probably be limited just based off, a lot of ADs want offensive coaches because they're a little more exciting and a little more flashy, so I think, for Tim Banks, the biggest question is how bad does he want to be a head coach? Is he willing to take something that may be a risk versus being a little more selective and biding his time?
Volquest Austin Price joins us Tuesdays here on Ramon, Kayla, and Will. A Volquest subscription, a great gift as well for someone in your family who loves the Vols. It is a must-have this time of year and all times of year because this machine never stops. Austin, we appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
yes,
Austin.
Austin Price with us this morning, talking Tennessee and Ohio State.
That's right.
Eggy Bob do the gritty down in front of the toys right
my
now.
goodness.
Okay, all right, cool.
Really?
You're
Holiday
pointing out the
spirit.
most
Yeah.
unobvious. I'm
You
like,
sure he
wait,
wasn't?
what's
Maybe he's just trying to stay
going
warm.
on?
Eggy
He's just
Bob-
shaking around to stay warm
He
a
picked
little
up
bit.
his steps, man. He was doing
I'm
the
going to need a
Trying-
he
video
was
of
doing the
that.
gritty, man.
See,
I'm
I
gonna
always
need a
get to
video of
listen
that.
to Slay and them talk about Eki on their shows when they're remote, but now we get to see it for
Pop in
ourselves.
his world, baby. We in
Yes.
our world right now. Also, Toy Field is where we at.
Here we
So
are.
Bring a toy
We got
down
some
here.
bikes out here, man.
Look at
Will
you.
cutting a promo.
Will was impressed by me right there.
Right?
That was good.
I must have slept. Well, I got to check my sleep number. I
Yeah,
slept.
dude, you
I
came
way
on like
too
you
much
drank
energy.
8 liters of coffee.
Most people
Way
are
too much.
more wired when they have coffee.
Yeah.
We did not.
I think Ramon might be more wired without coffee. Maybe
I
the
think
opposite
so.
effect. Because neither of you guys have coffee.
All right,
No.
caffeine.
I'm chilling. I'm great. I brought my
Big
own.
chilling.
Yeah, I don't have energy of Ramon. I'll tell you that
Have a
much.
sip of your coffee.
How much you paying? How much you offering?
Dang.
$2 a sip.
Dang.
$2 a sip.
Just give us those
Hit me.
11 toys that you do.
Nah, you can't-
you owed us.
You can't start the show talking about your platinum card, then not expect me to tax you. All right? This is America, isn't it? We're into taxing folks.
I thought we
I
didn't
sound
do
like
repeat.
Dan. He's not out here
Look
today.
at me. I got coins. I'm
Bitcoins?
Please, sir, can I have some coffee? Can I have a spot of coffee?
Hey, I remember when coffee was a quarter and when a dime, never mind. We can't say.
In other words, you're old. All right, just go ahead and plaster that on your
Look at
forehead.
Kirby, know where I'm at.
615-737-1045. Our 8 a.m. hour presented by Inbright Credit Union. We'll continue with more from Toy Field after
Oh,
this.
goodness.